I was like, I'm not going to be an outfit repeater.
Lizzie McGuire, you're an outfit repeater.
Kate, that bitch from Lizzie McGuire, wouldn't have shit to say about me.
Shut the fuck up, Kate. Hello, Raegan.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thanks. Happy to be here. How are you?
Oh, couldn't be better.
That's great to hear.
Oh, really though, I'm in a good mood. This is our first audio only episode.
Audio only.
You can still listen, but you won't have the constant visual aid.
Which sucks for you all, honestly.
Right. Yeah.
You won't get to see our faces.
But just imagine we're just as comfy on the couch.
Yes.
In the same clothes you probably have seen us in before. And that's okay. You know, as we say here on Name 3 Players, we are learning, growing, and evolving. And sometimes that means audio only.
Yeah. Technical difficulties are a real fucking bitch. But you know what? Nevertheless, they persisted.
Chit-chatting about the top 3 sports stories of the week.
Honestly, this was a juicy week for sports, I do have to say. It was so juicy that the NBA Finals got moved to our recap, not our story segment.
Because the stories were that juicy.
Yeah.
Where you're not even having to look for the stories, they're just there at the top, off the cuff. We added one last minute. That's how juicy it was.
Yeah. When I tell you the meat and potatoes are there, the fucking
And it's a generous portion.
Yeah.
It's a Thanksgiving portion.
Happy Thanksgiving to all who celebrate.
To all who celebrate. All right. Well, we are Name 3 Players. I'm Victoria.
I'm Raegan.
Let's go.
Woohoo. Before we dive in, usually we start each week with a recap. We don't really have much this week. If you've been following along, the finals take a long time. And it's been happening since we started this podcast 7 weeks ago. And so you know what? We're going to switch it up. The finals aren't a story this week. They're just part of our little recap.
Yeah. If I was rooting for the Heat, I would also not make them a story.
That's crazy because before we just started recording this, you threw a story at me out of left field, and you're the reason we moved this story to the recap.
I know. I just
So say what you want, but the thing about Vic is she wants to be a Heat fan so bad.
No, I don't.
You love Jimmy Butler.
No,
you love Hemi Butler.
I like winning.
You love Hemi buckets. I haven't really heard you say shit about Jokic.
Because
I talk about Jamal Murray more than you do.
Yeah. I like winning, and that's why I chose the Nuggets.
Okay.
But I'm here to soak in all the vibes. I don't have a team. I made a bet, and so I'm rooting for my team with the bet. But I do love Jimmy Butler, and I love what he's about. Besides, you never responded to it, but I sent you that TikTok of him being fucking weird to the kid.
Okay, but the kid was fucking weird.
No, and I knew you were going to say that. Shut up. I knew you were going to say that because she hates kids.
I do hate kids, but here's the thing. Before you cut me off, the dad that sent his daughter over to him is a fucking weirdo.
It's literally an interviewer. That's her job.
She literally was like, I'm here with my dad. Your prices are a little high.
She is an interviewer for ESPN.
Well, she is.
It's a segment.
That's
that little
crazy.
girl interviews NBA players.
She does?
Yes.
Outside of their cars like that.
We're not talking about the same video.
He was like in his car.
I think he was like pulling away. He wasn't in his car because he's in the backseat. But I think they were in an interview. Like she was talking to him and then she said the thing about the coffee.
She went up to him, asked for a discount on his coffee brand or whatever the fuck he's selling that hasn't even been released yet. And he was like, that's a weird question for you to come at me with. You and your dad and your cheap asses can go, and the next time you want to come support my coffee business, it's going to be more expensive for the both of you. And I can't say I disagree. You asked.
I didn't. I just said you didn't respond.
Oh, well.
I'm glad you brought that up. That was the energy. That's that energy right there. I'm glad you brought that up.
She was saving her response for the podcast. Now that you tried to pit me against children and let our audience know that I hate kids, let's move on to the actual recap of the series. Nuggets, as of right now when we're filming this, the game has just ended. Nuggets are up 2-1. It's still anybody's series.
Also, you can't see, but she just smiled nervously.
Well, you know, game 2 was great. It was a really good game, actually. Tonight started off as a good game, ended by they closed it to like a 10-point lead.
Yeah.
Jokic, what the fuck?
That name. That's the drinking game. When Raegan tries to say Jokic's name. Oh,
here's the thing.
God.
Make it start with a Y. Jokic and Murray became the first duo to have a 30-point triple-double game, the two of them. So, really exciting.
I think you call him that because they call him Joker.
That's what we'll go with. I want to be a Jamal Murray fan so bad. I am a Jamal Murray fan. I want him to play for the Heat so bad because he's so good. And every time he makes a shot, I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, fuck, no. I want the Heat to win. He's so good.
No, he is really good. But that's what I was saying about Jimmy Butler. Like, yes, I'm pulling for the Nuggets, but I can still respect his game.
Yeah, he hasn't really had much of a game this series, though.
No, he's not. It's because that kid. Dude.
I feel like our boy Hemi is just heating up. And he's like, all right, I'll let you guys have these two. And then I'm going to come put the beat down on the rest of the series. So we'll see.
You manifest that energy.
Yeah. I mean, truly, these teams are so good. The Heat shouldn't even be here, but they've proved their way through each round of the finals. And I'm just happy to watch.
Just happy to be here.
Just happy to be here.
Me too. Me and my longtime team, the Denver Nuggets.
I mean, honestly, yeah.
You haven't been a Heat fan.
Really? Did you not listen to the last episode or the episode before that? That's crazy. So anyway, the NBA Finals stands at a 2-1 lead with the Nuggets versus the Heat. Okay, so that's our recap on the finals. Game 4 will be played on Friday. We'll see.
We will see. We haven't fully decided on the finals bet. We're taking, if you have any ideas...
Yeah.
We're taking suggestions.
The thing is like we decided on one, but then we both were like, ugh. We chickened out. Both of us did.
It wasn't so much chickening out. It was just...
Oh, I chickened out.
So what we did say, and as you all know, Raegan and I are both Chiefs fans. Mm-hmm. And we said that the season opener...
No, the game that we play them on New Year's Eve.
Oh, we did change it, right? Because we were like, yeah, we'd never do that. So the game that we play them, the Chiefs versus the Bengals, is on New Year's Eve, and the loser would have to wear Bengals garb.
Yeah, and fuck no.
Yeah, no, I'd rather die. People are like, oh, but your first bet, like the pickup lines, whatever, that sounds so awful. I'm like, oh no, I would rather do that literally 100 times. I'd rather do that every single time I go out.
Yeah, than wear a Bengals shirt.
For the rest of my adult life. Than to wear a Bengals shirt at a Chiefs-Bengals game.
Yeah. So, again, open to suggestions. We don't want to subject ourselves to that, speak that into existence, put those colors on our skin.
So, we encourage you to make your own bets with your girls. Let us know. Bring us in on the bit. We love being in on the bit. Mm-hmm. And then send us your suggestions on what our finals bet should be. It should be like a little higher stakes than our playoffs bet, but not Bengals at a Chiefs game. All right, let's move along.
Okay. Well, before we hop into our 3 stories, we have a sponsor.
Yes, we do. So, first sponsor of our 3 stories is Jet Athletics. If you are new here, we talk about this all the time. It is our friends at Jet Athletics. Jet Athletics is an on-demand fitness platform that fits in your carry-on. Whether you have 10 minutes or 50, no equipment or access to a full gym, Jet Athletics provides an all-inclusive getaway to the movement of your choice. We, meaning Raegan and I, took their towel service class in person here in Kansas City. They have them in Kansas City and Boston as of right now. If you're in both of those cities, highly suggest. If not, just do their on-demand classes. But the towel service, it's a full-body workout with just a towel. And it kicks your ass.
Yeah, it does.
Basically.
Yeah.
We waltzed in thinking we were just going to have a little sweat, nothing crazy, and left completely drenched. And I can say I fell victim to the Jet towel service class.
Yeah. And I think for like the girls that work from home, take a little lunch break, grab a dish towel, do this, and I promise you're going to feel like you just left the gym.
So if you're interested in your own Jet Athletics membership, you can use our code NAME3PLAYERS, all spelled out, for 15% off your first month. And it's like 75 classes on demand. They're always adding new ones. And like I said, if you're in Boston or Kansas City, follow them on Instagram and see their actual live events too.
Yeah.
Can highly recommend both.
They're working, I think, on planning their next in-person events for both cities. So stay tuned for that. Okay, well, let's dive on into our top 3 stories. So our first one is the NBA is not the only finals going on right now.
It isn't.
So we've got the Stanley Cup Finals for the hockey girlies out there, or if you're not a hockey girly but you want to learn.
Yeah, same here. Strap in.
Yeah. So the Las Vegas Knights and the Florida Panthers are currently playing for the Stanley Cup. The Vegas Knights lead 2-0 as of right now. Game 3 will be played on Thursday, so last night. It's kind of like an old-fashioned ass whooping happening right now. So Knights are just ripping the Panthers to shreds. They have scored 12 goals over 2 games to a Panthers whopping 4 goals.
Yeah,
over 2 games. So
I will say, for my new hockey girl era and me really stepping into learning about this isn't really pulling me in.
No, and the thing is like I really try to watch hockey. I really do. My dad loves it, so when I'm at his house, we're watching hockey, and it is the hardest thing for me to watch.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. With this series, the Florida Panthers are scrappy as fuck. Mm-hmm. And so that's entertaining.
No, and see, that's where I need to be dialed in more because I lose interest before it gets to the scrappiness. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, okay, what else is on? Like, I just can't, I can't be focused. But I did, as we do, read an article, aka watched a TikTok. I did look like, somehow it came on my algorithm. It said, you're an aspiring hockey girly? Here you go. I'm serving you the content you need. And it was like 10 worst or best, depending on how you look at it, hockey fights of all time.
Oh, God.
And I was like, now this is the shit I'm here for. Get me on the glass for that.
So the Panthers, honestly, at the end of game 2, were just like, fuck it. We're not going to win this game, so let's just beat the fuck out of everybody.
Yeah.
That
is something I'm here for.
Yeah.
What a sport.
Like, their main guy, Kachuk, what a name. Starts with a T, but it's pronounced Kachuk. Crazy. He had a misconduct, which that means you get a 10-minute timeout.
Look at this hockey bitch right here.
But he got a 10-minute misconduct, and that means a 10-minute timeout. You leave the ice for 10 minutes.
So you have to, really fuck someone up to get one of those.
Honestly, no. So a misconduct you get put in the penalty box if you, hit somebody, whatever. A misconduct happens if you cross-check somebody. And girlies, that means you took your stick and you cross-checked someone. You put that across their whole body.
I'm in. You've got me. That, I legitimately, everything you just said, you saw how enthralled I was?
Yeah.
I am obsessed.
It's so entertaining. So by the time he got sent away...
It's like jousting. It's like medieval.
Jousting on ice.
Yeah. And with UFC, blades strapped to you.
UFC jousting.
Hockey.
Hockey on ice.
Handshake emoji. But, so he got sent away, and there wasn't even 10 minutes left in the game, so he just got ejected. And after that...
Was he mad? Did he throw something?
No, he didn't throw anything. He just left the floor, but he was pissed. And after that, the Florida Panthers... I think probably 4 other players got ejected between that time and the end of the game. The announcers were making a joke. They were like, oh my God, another player's going into the locker room. There's not going to be any hot water for the guys left on the bench. So many dudes got kicked out of the game.
Clever.
And at that point, if you're down 7-2 with less than 10 minutes left.
You might as well get in a brawl.
If this is the game that you actually can fight, fucking do it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, see, maybe I'm completely wrong. I take back my statement. I just wasn't watching. I didn't watch enough.
Hockey's entertaining, but just a couple things to know.
Play for though.
Yes! And yes, thank you, Chloe. Back to the sports of it all. Florida's down 2-0. It's whoever wins 4 games first. Florida has come back from a 3-1 deficit. They did that against the Bruins in the first round of the playoffs. Call back. We covered that on our second episode. But as Chloe mentioned, if the Knights win, they have all been promised free lap dances for life in Vegas if they win.
That's what Jimmy Garoppolo needs.
Jimmy G is sitting there with his bum-ass ankle, barely passing his physical, and he's like, fuck, I chose the wrong sport.
Now that's a callback.
He probably has free lap dances for a year already. But spread the wealth. So.
Wow. Good for that strip. Well, I'm assuming it was a strip club that did that.
No, just random
A group
girls.
of women.
The girls wearing the jackets are like,
hey. Wags jackets. Oh my god, as long as the strippers have their own wags jackets.
Oh my god, yeah, okay. One important thing to note is that the hockey players aren't the only ones getting scrappy. There was a Florida Panthers female reporter that stiff-armed the fuck out of a Knights fan.
I saw that. Which, yeah, go for it.
Well, yeah.
Queen.
But
Get
usually
away from her.
they're like, oh, please stop.
Their pencil skirts are usually too tight. They can't even move.
This
They're
bitch.
like, please.
Stiff arms him, looks dead in the camera, is like, nope, doing my job, I'm not doing this, nope, and is holding this man back. And she tweeted the video of her doing that and was like, let me do my fucking job, can't wait to be back in Florida with the classier fans. Bold statement.
Tough. Tough, sis.
So, I mean, based on the stats of the Panthers versus the Bruins, it's really anyone's series still.
Leading into our next story, Florida is just having a moment right
They
now
really
in
are.
sports. So if you are from Florida, live in Florida, good for you guys right now. Congrats, Florida, for all your sports.
Congrats, Florida. We've got Brooks Koepka, hasn't slept since he won the PGA Tour.
We're just going to keep saying that. Every episode, it's like, no, he still hasn't slept.
This man has been truly everywhere.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's been at every game. So the Panthers are in the finals. The Heat are in the finals. With that, Florida's just having a moment, which leads us into our next story where Messi has joined the MLS Inter Miami team, or officially joined, which is huge news. So for the girlies that don't really know soccer, aka me, give us a little rundown on who Messi is and what that means for not only Miami, but like the MLS league as a whole.
100%. So, I mean, definitely just one of the GOATs. I'm sure some would argue the GOAT of soccer/football. But, I mean, he played his entire professional career at Barcelona before he was in France. Paris Saint-Germain, that's who he just left. So him coming to the MLS is a big deal. Also, it's just like United States soccer is just not what it is in Europe.
Right.
So him leaving that to come here is a really big deal. And then David Beckham is a partial owner of Inter Miami. And I know they have a relationship, so I think that, makes sense. It's just exciting. It's exciting for soccer in the United States. And I think I read somewhere where he made a statement about, like, it's just a completely different life in the United States playing soccer than it is, what he's experienced in the past. So,
Drag racers for Messi. Woohoo.
He was considering a Saudi team, and what he turned down assumedly is $500 million, which is absolutely nuts. And the deal hasn't been solidified, this one for Inter Miami, but it's speculated that it'd be like 120 to 150. So clearly, significantly less than that Saudi deal, but
which is crazy because that's significantly less in the world of soccer.
Right.
But that deal, 125 to 150 million, they put it into perspective that like the NFL team salary cap is $225 million.
Right.
So his deal is just shy of 100 from that. And so the fact that like in the grand scheme of the soccer world, not that much money.
No.
But in the sports world, it just is like crazy.
Right. The Forbes 2022 highest paid athletes, the top 4 are soccer players, and then it's LeBron James. But like soccer, I mean, it's the number 1 watched sport in the world. I think because we are such American football people, and predominantly in the United States, you are watching American football more than you're watching soccer. So I think in our little worlds, that doesn't even register. Mm-hmm. But then when you really put it in the grand scheme, you're like, okay, well, think about how many people are tuning into these games. Think about how many people are going to these games.
Right.
So it really does make sense. I saw a little infographic of what a Inter Miami ticket was prior to this. Even it's not even an official deal yet, but just the speculation. It was like 400% the value of one ticket upped already because of this Messi deal. So what he's going to bring to that city is truly crazy.
Yeah. I think the coolest thing, I mean, obviously happy to have like such a big name player in the MLS, like really just like bringing that culture to America. But the one thing that I read, he said that he like saw what staying at the PSG team would look like, and it would disrupt all of the other players' livelihoods. Like their contracts would be restructured, like they would lose out on money just to keep him around. And he was like, that is not something that I want to be a part of.
Right.
So let me explore what other options look like. And I just think, I don't know, I think that was really cool because it was not about like his payday to him. It was like, where can I go that makes sense for my success? But then also like what makes sense for like my teammates and their livelihood. And because this is their career. Yeah. So I just thought that was really cool.
A considerate king.
Yes, we do. Okay, so that brings us to our third story, which honestly, unless you've been living under a rock, you've heard about this, but the LIV Tour and the PGA Tour and the DP World Tour, they've all combined and become one, which is honestly insane.
Crazy.
For the girlies, if you're a Vanderpump Girls, just to put this into perspective, this is like if Tom and Ariana had this whole blowout, scandal happened, and then they were like, nah, never mind, let's just have a baby now. Let's just forget all of this happened. We're going to get back together and have a baby. That's what literally LIV and PGA did on Tuesday.
I don't fully know what you're talking about, but I feel like I get the reference. She's the one that was cheated on.
Yes. And we talked about for our breakdown a couple weeks ago, we broke down what the LIV Tour was, what the PGA
and
Tour
now it doesn't matter.
But like, that's the thing. Like, this is the craziest thing, I think, that has happened in sports, like, in a long time.
Yeah.
Because as of Tuesday, this just happened. The players had no idea. Like, reporters had no idea. The only people that were in on it were the manager of the PGA Tour, the manager of the Saudi team that was, like, owning LIV. And then they just came out, released it on Twitter, and that's how all the players found out.
That's crazy. The delivery of it definitely, to me, felt like, do we not have a better PR rollout?
No, I truly don't think that they did.
It was chaos. And also coming from, like, the legacy that the PGA Tour has, you think that there would be some sort of rollout with, like, an explanation for all of these people that were up in arms about LIV in the first place. Now the fact that they are merging, like, you think there would be some sort of eloquent way to share this news and these details, but it really was like every time I was just refreshing my Twitter timeline, like, what's going on? People are pissed.
Well, and like that's also the thing. Like, they rolled this out without anybody knowing. They just were like, hey, by the way, this is happening. Truly, they could not have been expecting this type of backlash, because then I don't think they would have rolled it out this way. But then they were like, oh, well, we'll have a meeting later. We don't have all the, like, details ironed out.
Yes, that part of it, too. I'm like,
it's what? Giving, like, my old company. This is the shit that would happen.
This is corporate America.
Let's make this decision with no one involved. We're going to roll it out, and damage control later.
Deal with the consequences.
And figure it out along the way.
But I also think, is it like when you were in trouble when you were in like high school and you're like, better do it now than ask for forgiveness or whatever the hell that saying is?
Yeah, I don't
ask
know.
for forgiveness instead of permission.
Yeah, better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
But
that's what they were doing. They're like, well, we're just going to do it. They're going to be pissed off regardless. And the PGA Tour are the teenagers in this story.
Yeah. So with that, like, LIV players don't give a fuck. Like, they're like, finally, we get to go back to the PGA Tour. We get to play in the majors. We got all of this money over the last 2 years.
And they look like the cool kids in all of this because it's like, okay, cool, you guys threw such a big fit about it, and now you just look like cowards.
Exactly. But then the PGA
Coward
players
energy, PGA.
that stayed are like, you threatened us. If we even made a move like this, that we would never be welcomed back. We wouldn't get like the same amount of money. We wouldn't get to play in the majors. And we stayed loyal to you. And now it was all for nothing.
Right.
So it's honestly...
That's what you get for being a little goody two-shoes.
Yeah. And like, just like the difference of their tweets. So like, Phil Mickelson was on a beach. Brooks Koepka was like, somebody do a wellness check on Chambly. Somebody else, I don't know. They were like totally happy with it, totally fine with it. But then, like, there's PGA players like Will Zalatoris, who's a golfer for the PGA Tour. He tweeted, or he made a statement. He was like, I'm going to Venmo request Jay Monahan for $130 million. Because Jay Monahan's the manager of the PGA Tour, who was, like, threatening them if they left. I don't know.
I just, like, what? This is for entertainment, and this is entertaining.
Yes, but, like, I think the thing is like, nobody knows what this means, what this merger means. What is it going to look like? Like, is there team play? Because that's what was established in the LIV Tour. Is it more lax? Can they wear shorts? Can they like have a rowdy crowd at the tournament?
And I bet they don't know the answer to these questions.
No, they don't.
How they rolled it out.
That's the thing. So I think it's just like, they can't back what they're saying up. So Jay Monahan, like I mentioned, he's being called like the biggest hypocrite in sports history because, again, he equated people leaving the PGA Tour to go to the LIV Tour to like supporting 9/11. Like
No, he didn't.
Yeah. Because it was
Shut up.
Yes. He literally would make comments like that. And so now that he's made this deal, then what did all of that mean?
What? The 9/11 thing is absolutely crazy.
Yep. So Rory McIlroy was interviewed. He addressed the media on Wednesday. He was like, I still hate LIV. I hope it goes away. I fully expect it to. But I do think that this is in the best interest for the future of golf. Whatever this looks like, this is the way that it had to happen. Like,
yeah, there couldn't be separate entities.
Yeah.
There needed to be one. And that does make sense. I mean, for him to say that he thinks it's going to completely go away, I don't really know what grounds you're standing on there. But at the same time, I do understand, like, yeah, there shouldn't be a division. It should all be the same.
Yeah.
We should all be doing the same thing.
And he was asked about Jay Monahan being, like, the biggest hypocrite ever. And he was like, no, 100%. He was like, I even told him in our meeting on Tuesday that he's galvanized everybody against something, a.k.a. the LIV Tour. And now after he got everybody to either split sides or, like, turn their backs on each other, he's now made partner with this person.
Yeah, I guess my only question is, LIV was such a party.
Yeah.
So, like, what traditions, like, what vibe is it going to be now? Because the PGA and LIV were so drastically different.
And I honestly, if I had to guess, I'm going to guess that the culture of LIV is not going to carry over because it was so fresh and so new. But
Sad, I wanted to go to a LIV event.
Well, I mean, there's still, like, the Waste Management Tour, which, like, exemplifies what LIV was. And
Which
like,
we are going to.
Yes. And, like, honestly, LIV was played in team play. It was on the CW. Like, people weren't spending their Sundays watching the LIV Tour. If it was on, great, but it wasn't, like...
It doesn't hold the same tradition
Correct.
and legacy and following like PGA did.
Exactly. But I think having, like, the Phil Mickelsons, the Brooks Koepka, like, all those players back on the tour will be great for golf, and like maybe the people that were like, what's this live about, like wasn't really into golf, saw like the rowdiness, and the camaraderie, all of that, then they'll be like, okay, they've come to love these players and love their game, so then they'll watch. But I just don't think there's, to me at least, I don't think there's a world where Liv comes into the PGA Tour and has that same vibe.
Shakes things up.
Yeah. Last thing on that is that Monahan came out in a memo on Wednesday that they're going to...
Who's the Monahan guy?
He's the manager of the PGA Tour, who made such a
fuss... Right. He was the guy with the stick up his ass.
Exactly. Made such a fuss about people leaving and now has made this deal.
Okay.
But he said that he's going to try to come... Or they are going to try to come up with a way to make it fair for players who stayed... and those who chose to leave are going to be subject to some kind of like consequences, whether that be fines, whether that be suspensions, but they're not reinstated for this season. They're going to have to wait till next year, so they don't qualify for the Ryder Cup, like none of that. So maybe that's their consequence.
He's like, there will be a slap on the wrist for the people that didn't
But I mean,
stay
he
loyal.
has to.
I mean, I know, but...
Because, like, honestly, Tiger Woods is by far the best golf player ever, the biggest name in golf, and he stayed. And so you have to say, like, imagine that, like, he's pissed. Rory McIlroy is pissed because he defended PGA through and through, and now this shit, they just folded like a deck of cards.
Well, yeah, and then they all look stupid.
Exactly. So they have to have some kind of consequences.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how this, like, plays out, what that means for the PGA Tour next year when they're all reinstated and all of this is over. But huge news in golf for the girls. Okay. Anything else to add on our little 3-story segment here?
No, really.
Cool. Well,
go Nuggets.
Okay, go Heat. That was in our recap. You're a little late.
You asked me if I had anything to add, and that was what I had to add. Okay. Stop censoring me. God.
All right. Get us to our ad, Vic.
Our Walkout Fits of the Week are brought to you by...
Waterboy.
Waterboy.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, replenish after a long weekend with a stick of Waterboy. Formulated with electrolytes and vitamins, this hydrating drink mix helps reduce nausea and fatigue and helps you chill out after a weekend out. Each stick of Waterboy is vegan, has 0 sugar, and includes 3 times electrolytes and vitamins than its competitors. The original Weekend Recovery is available in strawberry lemonade and blue raspberry flavors with the newest Athletic Recovery and lemon lime. So whether it's from working out or
going out,
it's
Waterboy.
Hell yeah.
Woo!
And you know the drill. If you're new here, we love Waterboy.
We're hungover. It's the only reason we're alive.
Yeah. We're hungover. I don't want to say a lot.
I am.
Okay.
So I use that part and you use the workout.
Yeah, I'm really into the, like, obviously, the cure for the hangover, tremendous, 10 out of 10, no notes. The Athletic Recovery, it is making a difference. But just, like, more hydrated. I just feel like, I felt like after drinking pre-workout and then working out, sweating it all out, by the time you leave the gym, I just feel dehydrated. And this has been helping. And I just pop it in my water bottle whenever I leave, shake her on up. And you can use our code on all of it. It's name3players at checkout for 15% off your cart. And that does work on the merch.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so now we're moving right along into our Walkout Fit of the Week.
This is a musical episode.
Can you make a little jingle for every segment?
I really want to, yeah. And so we don't have to sing it. Just tell us you hate us, Chloe. Just tell us you hate our singing voices.
I'm saying you will be the voice.
Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do like a little like...
So that's it.
Shut up. That was so good. Okay, so Walkout Fit of the Week. Raegan, take it away.
Okay, we've made it known. It's a safe space here. Like, we love the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Okay? And if it were up to me...
New drinking game. Take a shot every time we say the Chiefs.
Well, we're getting close to football season, so y'all are going to be drunk.
You're about to be
wasted. They went to the White House this week.
Mm-hmm.
They all were dressed to the nines.
Mm-hmm.
If I could pick the entire team, I would. But I can't. So I'm going to choose one. And my winner is Jody Forston.
Yep.
This man had a navy pinstripe suit on, a double-breasted vest, a black...
You love a good suit. That is something about you.
I really do. a brown wide-brimmed hat.
Mm-hmm.
He had his glasses on. He had an 88...
A little 88 pendant.
A little 88 pendant on his chain. I mean, they were all just dressed to the nines, and he looked the sharpest of all of them, I think. So, Jody Forson, keep doing what you're doing.
He gets your fit of the week.
Yeah.
They did all look stunning.
Go Chiefs.
So mine is a little courtside fit from Game 3. Dwayne Wade. And that...
So good.
Whew, it was a crocheted, like, ivory, cobalt blue collared button up, and he wore it open, which is like a white beater underneath.
Love a good white beater, honestly.
Yeah, same. And then a tan pant. And I didn't see the shoes, actually. I don't think what the image I saw had the shoes.
Yeah.
But absolutely stunning. And something about a man in crochet. I think I just, like, unlocked something.
Yeah. I didn't know that I needed it until I saw
100%.
it. 100%.
It's like a little bit, feminine touch on it all.
Yeah.
It won instantly. I had another one picked out, not even worth saying, because then I saw this one and was like, that's it.
Yeah.
Fit of the week.
Really, really good.
I don't have any information on the designers because it happened kind of in real time right before we recorded this. But we will upload them on our Instagram. And we're going to make a little highlight reel on Instagram so all the fits live there. That's one of my favorite things, honestly, about watching sports is to see the walkout fits.
Yep.
So
agreed. If
you're a fan of this segment, send us your faves. We want to see them.
The dudes be dressing. Call them ranch. They be dressing.
Being a funny girl is tough work, but someone's got to do it. And we signed up. We signed up to do it. We signed up and then we showed up is what we did.
For the girls.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Shall we get into our breakdown?
Yeah, we should. So our breakdown of the week, if you're not familiar, that is just the little segment in which we break down something that otherwise is a little hard to understand. Mm-hmm. And it may even be hard to understand for us, but we walk you through it in real time with us, and we're all in this together.
Yeah. So for this week, we're breaking down the pitching clock in the MLB. This is a newly implemented part of the game this season, and a means to speed up the game. Because if you're like me, the part you hate the most about baseball is how long it is.
Right, and all the dead time. There's just like so much lull.
Yeah, so they brought in the pitching clock to speed that up, to eliminate that dead time. And really where that comes into play is the pitcher. So before they brought this in and implemented it into the season, there was no limit in regards to when a player could start their windup. So the pitcher could be on the mound, taking their sweet little time.
Have a little camp out there.
Yeah, honestly, with themselves, just being one.
Playing in the dirt.
So no more of that.
No more.
What this is
guys,
doing.
stop playing in the dirt. We've got a game to play.
So there's like 2 rules to it. So if the bases are empty, there's 15 seconds on the clock. If there are players or a runner on base, there's 20 seconds. So the clock starts whenever the catcher throws the ball to the pitcher. They catch the ball, and then the clock starts and runs until they start their delivery. That means, like, they start their windup, not when they release the ball. While, like, much of the focus is on the pitcher, it also kind of impacts the speed at which the batter can prepare for their at-bat. So as a batter, you must step into the box for your at-bat and be ready to hit with at least 8 seconds on the clock. It's really just, like, keeping the game going along, moving quickly, which is great for the players. It's moving things along, not a lot of downtime, can stay in the game. But for the fan interactions, it's kind of eliminated a lot of, like, the traditions.
Like why people go to baseball games.
Right.
In between each pitch, they usually have, like, chants or, like, the organ, or, I don't know, a lot of people still have it, but, like, they'll hit play on, like, a little, like, let's go, or, like, just, like, something that's, like you said, a tradition in between pitches, and, like, you don't really have that. Or, like, the walk-up songs, I have noticed, have been drastically cut down, so they get, like, 3 seconds to get hyped up, and then it's like, you gotta get up there.
So it's just like everything's condensed, including the camaraderie, enriching activities between.
Right.
Yeah.
So overall, feedback from players is super positive. Like I said, keeps things moving. But as a fan, it kind of limits that interaction and tradition part of it.
Honestly, as a non-fan, I'm in favor because now I'd go.
Well, and so, like, they take, like, 2.5 to 3 hours, whereas, like, if you're going to a Royals game at 3 o'clock, you're there till 10 p.m.
That's absolutely asinine to me, and also why
It's America's pastime. That's what people used to do.
Well, yeah, of course. They didn't have anything else to do.
Mm-hmm. But now we got places to be, people to see, things to do.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Learning, growing, evolving, the game of baseball.
So there's that. Honestly, with this implementation, I'm more on board.
Yeah, I would go.
Less time to consume dogs, so sad for you. But nevertheless, she persists.
I mean, I could definitely get a few dogs down in that time, but...
All right, so that's our breakdown.
Yeah, actually, you explained it really well. I do get it.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm affirming you. I was clueless before, and now it's broken down for me, and I feel I could explain a pitching clock.
That's good.
Scrolls up for notes.
My God. All right, so I think with that, let's dive on into our songs of the week.
Okay, and our songs of the week, our walk-up song of the week, mine is Maria Maria by none other than Carlos Santana. I need you to understand that this song has been playing in my head on a loop for at least 2.5 weeks. Well, and Smooth, but this one, no. It's Maria Maria.
Yeah.
But you get it because I played it for you, and there's something about that smooth guitar, you know? It just really gets you. And I don't know when this song came out. 1999. Oh, what a good year. Me being 6 when Maria Maria came out, I'm just Maria Maria in the backseat of my mom's Denali. Turn up Santana, Mom! On the way to soccer practice. I'm like, you know what this day needs? Some steel guitar. Really set my 6-year-old body.
You just like light a cigarette in the back. Like, I needed this.
Pull my sombrero really low over my eyes.
Soccer drained me today. Okay. So, if anything, we are versatile girlies with our music.
Yeah. Maria Maria.
It's a good one. I'm not gonna...
Okay, so Maria Maria by Carlos Santana. It's just a certified bop. You know where to find it. We'll add it to the playlist. Let this steel guitar
take you home,
drive
baby.
you.
I don't really know how to follow that up.
Yeah, I don't know if you can. Go ahead.
Well.
Try.
I mean, I will, because we'll hear mine live this weekend.
Hell yeah.
AKA tomorrow. Happy Luke Combs weekend to all who celebrate. My song of the week is Cold As You by Luke Combs. I swear to God, that song, inject it into my veins. I cannot stop. I turn into a feral rat, as Chloe says, when I hear
Country
it.
mouse.
A country mouse.
Feral country mouse.
Yeah. I turn into a different person. So needless to say, when that comes on 3rd this weekend, because I've seen the set list, thanks to Chloe, I'm going to lose my mind. And in the best way possible. So Cold As You by Luke Combs never gets old.
I think those are good choices. I feel good about it. How do you feel?
I feel good. You can find our playlist on Spotify at Name 3 Players. Yeah, just a little, honestly, a hodgepodge of songs.
It is. I would shuffle it. Go crazy out there.
Go crazy.
It is a wild little list of certified bops.
Yeah, it is. All right. With that, do we have anything else?
No, not really. I mean, we know this is different with audio only. Thank you for listening along. Yeah. This isn't going to be forever. We're gonna do video again. The next couple might be audio only, but stay tuned for a little revamp, a little situation.
Yeah. And Vic and I have some vacations coming up, so we've got some fun little episodes planned. So a little break maybe from our regularly scheduled programming, but nonetheless, the girlies are here.
Nevertheless, they persisted.
All right. Well, I think with that, we'll wrap her on up. We release new episodes every Friday. You can listen to us on Spotify, iHeart, and Amazon Music. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Name 3 Players.
Watch all of the back episodes on YouTube. And you can find all of those links in our Instagram bio.
Oh, Chloe did create a new Facebook group for everybody. So if you're on Facebook, join our group. This is where all the girls can go to meet each other, to bond, to find tickets to sporting events in your city, to ask questions about stuff covered on the episode, the things we didn't cover and otherwise want to know. And
little behind the scenes from events that we have, things like that.
Yeah.
You can find it all there. It's a little community for
the
girls.
It is.
Girls only.
Let us know your bets.
Yeah, let us know your bets. So follow us, follow along, and
we'll see you.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.